Attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another of OfferVault's fine and famous webinars. Tonight, Chad Hemza and Will Hemiari are on board to tell you how to make 5 times more money using CPA. Now, you guys, forgive me for asking this kind of rude question up front. When you say make 5 times more money, is that more money than me? Because, like, I made $1.98 last year, or is that 5 times more money than somebody who's already doing reasonably well? You know, I mean, you've got to have some sort of scope of achievement here to look forward to. It's making $10 isn't going to make me rich and famous, but you guys, you know, you've been around a while. You've been able to produce some significant results, right?
No, absolutely. Well, you know, today what it's about is like 5 times more than what other marketers would make. You know, using the same traffic without working 5 times as hard. But yeah, I know, Will, you've been around a while, right? If you want to give a little bit on yourself. Or...
Yeah, well, I've been doing this since 2004, and so I've been in the business for a long, long time, doing lead generation and AdWords when they used to like affiliates, and now moving into all the CPA goodness. But what we're going to show tonight, well, Chad's going to walk through it, is a way that you can actually benefit and make more money than your competitors who aren't doing what we're going to show you. So it's a way that I love it. I try to implement it in all my new campaigns because it works so well. So, but Chad is the master of it. He's the one who actually taught it to me. So, Chad.
Yeah, no. So
okay, so we're going to blame Chad if it doesn't work, and he's going to get an award from somebody if it does. Now, as we always start off the webinars, everybody, these things are recorded as always. So, you know, if for some reason you miss it, it will be available in the in the OfferVault webinar section. If you're having any problems with your audio, we apologize. We don't control the audio circuits. All I can tell you is here in Master Control, which is in a dark basement, the sound is working fine. If you're having some difficulties, check your audio system. If that doesn't work, then you might have to sign out and sign back in. I'm going to shut the hell up. You pay attention, because these two fine gentlemen are going to give you some very, very good information and make your life better. It's all yours, guys.
All right. Thanks for that spectacular intro. Guys, just in the question box there, can you just tell me you can hear me and see my screen fine? I just need to know that. There should be just a title screen up there. Okay, fine. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Okay, cool. All right, let's get started. So today, as you know already, what it's about is how to make 5 times more than other marketers, other affiliate marketers, that sort of thing, without working 5 times as hard. And so that should appeal to just about everyone, whether you're an affiliate, a product owner, you know, whatever else. But this is going to be specific more so to affiliates, CPA affiliates, that sort of thing. So, as I always say, notes are good, distractions are bad, so if you got a pen and paper or open up Notepad or something like that, text edit if you're on a Mac, and you know, put the distractions away. Put Facebook, put Skype, Twitter, all that stuff, put it away, because I'm going to be showing some things today. We're both going to be showing some things today that it's stuff that you can go implement right away, actually, right after this call. If you've been running traffic or you've been wanting to know the best approach, you can start doing this sort of thing right away. So just take notes, get ready to take action on it, and we'll get going. So the promise of what you guys are going to learn tonight, first of all, the #1 challenge that most affiliate marketers have, and the strategy that helped me cure that. And I've taught this strategy to a few people. I've only taught it on one other webinar. Otherwise, it's been taught more in depth in our private forums. But it's a strategy that kind of helps overcome that #1 challenge. Then I'm going to show you an actual example of a campaign using that strategy that has made me thousands of dollars so far. I'll talk about specific numbers in a bit as well. The 3 biggest mistakes most marketers make when they're generating traffic, these are things that myself and Will have seen people who, you know, they're starting out, they keep making these same mistakes. So we're hoping that, you know, when we get to that section tonight, it's going to eliminate that for you and you can hit the ground running. 3 big breakthroughs that catapulted my income personally, and I'm sure we'll have some parallels on that. My entire traffic and conversion rollout blueprint. So I'll show you kind of just how far the rabbit hole goes. And, you know, once you start out, if you're just starting out now, just to see just how scalable it can be going forward. And obviously the importance of learning from someone who does it for a living. This is very important, and we'll get to why that is at the end there. And then after that, we'll have some time. We'll answer some questions for you, a bit of a Q&A and that sort of stuff. So very quickly, who we are, who are we? That's myself, Chad Hamsey, right there. That's one of the only pictures of me that's unshaven. Sorry, that is shaven, and I'm not bloody or something from some fight or whatever. But I started out with a mortgage, about $23,000 in debt, and a baby on the way back in 2009. I had my first $1,000 profit day on October of 2009. I was debt-free by November 7th, 2009, and it's been, an upward climb ever since. I've spent approximately $1 million in personal ad spend over the past 3 years, and so that's a big thing. A lot of people, they do agency work, and I do agency work as well. It's always easy to spend somebody else's money. So if you have investors and they want you to spend their money, that's always a lot easier. You can be a rock star that way. But when you put your money down, like myself and Will, it's a little more difficult. The creator of a highly rated course called Traffic Black Book. A lot of people have enjoyed that. Part owner with Will in 6 months from today coaching forum. It's a private coaching forum. And I fought pro mixed martial arts, which is that ultimate fighting stuff, and Muay Thai for 8 years, and I have 18 fights overall. That's Will right there. This is like the only photo I can find of this man. He's it's like Batman or something.
I got to update that.
Yeah. Well, I think there was one of you and Dennis Rodman. I didn't know if it was you, though.
No, that's me. Yeah, and that's really him. I met him. That was awesome. Yeah.
I thought it was a wax statue. But okay. So anyway, Will started back in 2004, as far as I know. PPC was around that back then. That's pretty cool. Owner of the first largely successful private forum on paid traffic, still very successful, ppccoach.com. You guys have probably heard of that. Many of the top guys in the game got their start on PPC Coach. A lot of them don't mention it, but a lot of those guys were noobs on the forum. I'm sure Will can confirm that.
Mm-hmm.
He's coached over 8,700 affiliate marketers over the past 4 years, which is pretty much unprecedented. I don't think anybody else can say that, so kudos to Will. And he's generated tons of revenue in lead generation, CPA offers, and specifically financial lead gen offers. Anything else you want to add there, Will, on that?
Yeah, that number is about 9,500 now. That's
okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to update that.
Okay, not a problem. We can update that. All right. So combined, Will and I, then that means we've helped close to 11,000 marketers with paid traffic, CPA marketing, affiliate marketing, sales funnels, and all that sort of stuff. So there aren't really many guys that can say that. So I'm really excited to help another, few hundred here that are on the call. They're going to see this this recording as well. All right. So what we're going to teach you tonight. These are some numbers from back in November for myself for campaigns I was running. It was a gross revenue of $33,613. After that, it was back in October. It went further back, $20,732 in gross revenue as well. Now the ROI on these campaigns is fairly high because of what we're going to show you tonight. So understand that I'm definitely not bragging when I show you that stuff. It's more to get you focused, paying attention, and understanding the potential of the business model I'm about to show you here. So first off, let's review the end game. Let's talk about those problems that people encounter in affiliate marketing. Let's review what your end game is when you decide to come online. So ask yourself, I want you to take a pen and paper out if you got one, and ask yourself, why did you come online in the first place? It's a very important question. Now, too often people can't answer that question. They, they're just like, oh, I want to make some money, or I want to pay some bills, or I just need to make $1,000 a month. That's not very inspiring. So I want you to work backwards. What was the type of thing that you wanted to have? Did you want to have this huge business, or do you want to have like a lifestyle business? And I'll get to that in a second. So don't define only what you don't want. Try to be clear about what your ideal day would look like, and it's very important for what we're going to get to in a second. So let's have some harmless fun. How many hours a week would it be that you want to work? Okay. What would you get paid in exchange for this work while working the hours you desire? I have one student. He's like, I only have 2 students. I don't take on one-on-one students really, and he's making about, I think it's at $5,000 an hour. He makes about $20,000 to $30,000 a month, and a lot of that profit, and he works about 2 to 4 hours a week. So don't worry about being realistic right now. Understand that the number you pick, the bigger number in your mind that you pick, probably the more work that's going to be involved. Okay, but just keep in mind, don't worry about being realistic. Just keep that in mind. So make sure you answer those questions. This is extremely important unless you want to just keep chasing money, and that's a big problem when it comes to CPA marketing specifically, and we'll get to why that is. So, was your ideal business anything like the following? Number one, earning 5 figures to 6 figures per month, working only 10 hours or less per week to sustain this, long-term and stable, lower competition, in control, and with big margins, so high profit margins? Or was it closer to this? Again, earning 5 figures to 6 figures per month, same type of thing, but working 60 hours per week, lack of full control, higher degree of competition, long-term uncertainty, and lower margins. Now, obviously, that's a trick question. I'm assuming your ideal business was closer to the first example. But did that second example look familiar at all? Okay, now before I discovered the affiliate strategy I'm about to share with you, that's what the CPA and ClickBank side of my business looked like. That's what the affiliate side of my business looked like. I worked very, very long hours just on affiliate marketing. I still work a lot now, but it's by my own choice because I do several different things. I have my own products and that sort of stuff. I don't think Will works very long hours, and that's cool because he's got stuff that's working for him, and he wants to chill out and enjoy himself. Isn't that right, Will?
Yeah, pretty much. Yep, I agree.
You play Call of Duty, right?
Yeah. Well, you work in spurts when you want to work instead of having to wake up every morning, go to work at 9,
Exactly.
Stare at the screen until 10, and then start working, go to the washroom. No, you just work whenever you feel like it, so it's a lot better.
Exactly, yeah. And so now why is that? Why did it used to be like that, okay? So let's get into some of those reasons why and why you might be hustling and working hard on the affiliate side or not knowing what you're doing right, and you get a few results and then they go away. So let's talk about why that is. Well, the first one, especially in CPA marketing, is offers expiring. Okay, this is a huge thing. Now, I love the guys at Convert to Media. They're an awesome CPA network. I'm just using them as an example. Offers go down across any network. Anyone who's ever run a network, been an affiliate, you know that you always get those offer expiring at midnight emails. These offers are going down. So have you ever spent time on a campaign then have the offer pulled? I know for myself, one of the most frustrating things was spending a week or so, 2 weeks, getting a campaign dialed in, ready to turn profit, and then all of a sudden, the offer goes down. Campaign dies. I'm sure Will has probably encountered that as well.
Oh yeah, more than once.
Yeah, it's a regular thing. It actually, for a while, got me out of promoting rebills like almost entirely just out of pure frustration, and that's when I started going more to lead gen offers. So I'm sure everyone's nodding their head that yes, offers are going down all the time. Number 2 is offers changing. Okay, so this doesn't necessarily mean the offer going down. This is the actual page, the merchant's page is changing. So this is for Truth About Abs, wildly popular ClickBank offer. I'm sure we know which one. We all know which one this is. So on the top right, this was Truth About Abs a few years back, maybe about 2008 or so, 2007, before I even started marketing. Don't ask how I was able to find that page. And then this is it now on the bottom left. Okay, it's obviously improved for conversions because the guys behind it, they know what they're doing. But who are they testing conversions with? Whose traffic are they testing conversions with? Obviously a bit of their own, but it's also rolling out to affiliates as well. So when that merchant changes the offer page and it starts affecting your conversions, you're the one paying for that traffic. Okay, or worse, they start changing the compliance and the wording and the claims on the page, and now if you're using traffic sources like Facebook or Google and that sort of stuff, now your accounts are put at risk as well. Okay, so at the end of the day, you just don't have control over either one of these scenarios. But number 3, and this is the really big one, this is the big reason why affiliate marketing is very tricky, okay, and it's low margins. Low margins is the very big one. Now, if you're direct linking, now if everyone knows on this call what direct linking is, it means just putting your affiliate link right in your traffic network and just sending traffic right to the offer. Or you're using a bridge page, so that could be like a review style page or a blog style page, something like that where you're not capturing the lead or anything. You only get one shot to close the deal. Okay, you only get one shot to seal the deal and get the conversion. Okay, so most affiliates are typically in pure acquisition mode. And what that means is they're always hustling. They're always just trying to get a conversion. They have no back-end value. Now, obviously, the offer owners, the guys that are running the offers, that sort of thing, they have a lot of back-end value, and that's why they can pay you. That's why they can pay you $1 to $1.50 just for an email submit, because they have a much bigger transaction value and a much bigger visitor value than what you're getting. So, have you ever wondered why it's so hard to make a really good ROI when it comes to CPA marketing? Now, I've been on the other side. I've seen offers and that sort of thing on the other side, so I know that a lot of these guys, a lot of these offer owners and merchants and that sort of thing, they can even lose money on the front end and still make a lot of cash on the back end just because they know their numbers properly. So to give you an idea, I know several 5-figure per day affiliates, okay? 5 figures per day who have absolutely no asset, no time freedom, and they need to work 16 to 20 hours a day in order to watch the numbers, as they're always teetering on losing thousands a day. Okay, if you've ever done a large media buy like myself or Will, you'll know that you might be running at only 20% to 30% ROI. Now, you can make a lot of money that way, but if something happens at all, if the server goes down for a little bit, or the offer dies and you just weren't around to watch your email, well, you just lost a lot of money in traffic if you're sending $5,000 plus traffic per day. Okay, so you got to keep that in mind. Now, yeah, you do have money at the end of it all, but money goes very quickly, especially if you plan on enjoying that money. So what you can do is you can go and read the wildly successful case studies on other forums. There's some paid forums and that sort of stuff, and free forums where someone's like, oh, I made blah blah blah, I made $1 million in 6 months, or whatever else, and then they finally share that case study after all that time. And the number one question that people ask is, why did the campaign stop? Why did you stop it? And usually they end for one of those reasons dramatically. It's either the offer's expiring, the compliance on the page changed and they couldn't run it anymore, competition from other affiliates, competition from the actual ad network as well. And again, it all comes down to they didn't have control of what they were sending traffic to. Okay? So again, what's the end game? Even if you became one of those top 1% that can make 5 figures a day, what do you have at the end other than the money? And again, like I said, money can run out very, very quickly. So today is all about helping you create an asset that you could even later sell if you want and make a lot of cash that way. But an asset that, you know what, if the traffic dies out or the offer dies out, it doesn't matter. The next day you're still in business. I've been in the situation where I've gone from $2,000 profit a day literally down to 0 overnight because I had my traffic networks and my traffic sources pulled out from under me.
Me too.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, Will, you can relate to that.
Oh yeah, totally. And this is something that's so important that a lot of people just ignore, and they think, oh no, that's not going to apply to me. I just want to make a ton of money, so I'm going to go work my 20-hour day and not listen to this. But if you're new and you'd listen to this and actually do what Chad's saying here, you're going to be light years ahead of the next guy who just stumbles along doing those 16 to 20-hour days.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to sustain those type of work days as well, too. Take it from me. So if you're just running traffic, then you're competing with every other affiliate, and your exit strategy is limited. Bottom line. So why not bring a flamethrower to a knife fight? Okay, I usually say leave the gun at home. Let's learn to truly dominate, and that's what I'm about to show you guys right now. And oddly enough, this is the only Justin Bieber pic I could find where he's holding a knife, and I believe that's Photoshopped. So, all right. So let me show you the strategy that I use right here. And I call it the pseudo-merchant strategy. We call it the pseudo-merchant strategy. And what that means is it means you're a merchant essentially, but not really. So it's like a pseudo-merchant kind of thing where it looks like you're an offer owner, but you aren't. You don't have to deal with all the headache and that sort of thing. So first let's talk about what it does for you. Okay, let's talk about what it does for you, what the benefits are. Now, number one, it allows you to capture leads yourself. Okay, so always think of your business as a lead generation business. If you take nothing else from this webinar, understand this. Always think of your business as a lead generation business. If you can do that going forward, okay, when you're buying your traffic or you're generating traffic, however it is, if you can think of it yourself as a lead generator, you will never run out of money. You'll recession-proof your life, okay? So understand that. Number two, it helps you make way more money than other affiliates while using the same amount of traffic. Okay, so I'm not talking about having to generate 5 times more traffic. I'm talking about, using the same amount of traffic, but maximizing the amount that you squeeze out of that traffic. Okay, so it gives you a higher earnings per click, and that's an EPC, and that means it gives you much bigger margins. Okay, and so it's a lot less stressful to buy traffic when you have bigger margins. What it allows you to do, though, it allows you to spend more on traffic because you have those bigger margins, and you can effectively brute force your competition out of the way. So that other affiliate who's direct linking, who has to get it right the first time, and he's running on 20 or 30% margins, you can go in there because you know that you can pay X amount for traffic, and he just can't compete with you. He or she just cannot compete with you, and that's the idea of brute forcing people out of the way. And so it gives you the power of an offer owner without all the overhead and customer support and all the other headache that goes along with it. It also gives you a long-term asset, okay, done the right way. It's something that when you're building up that asset, over time, you can eventually limit the amount of traffic that you're buying, and then after that, it becomes a lot of profit that you're generating, just pure profit for every email that you send out, every lead that you broker, or whatever else. And you get paid well to build that asset. I'm not talking about losing money as you're doing this. I'm talking about making money as you're building this asset. Now, I want you to also ask yourself, who are the biggest affiliates? Okay, who are the biggest affiliates on the CPA networks? Go ahead and ask your affiliate manager. They're going to say it's typically the media buyers and it's typically the email guys, okay, the email drops. So what I'm talking about here is using media buying traffic, using PPC, that sort of thing, to build your own email traffic source, to build your own email, and then you get the best of both worlds, and you get to be one of those big dog affiliates, those quote-unquote super affiliates. I really don't like that term, but there you go. So now, did you want to say something, Will?
I prefer super duper affiliate.
Oh, okay, that's almost as ridiculous.
So what does it look like? Let's talk about what it looks like. So pay attention to this, okay? You could go today, and this is something you can set up very, very quickly, assuming you knew how to drive traffic. So this is kind of a flow chart, the overview, that sort of thing. Feel free to take notes and write it down and draw it out. The way it works is this. We have a pre-sell option. Now this is optional. You don't necessarily have to do this. This could be a simple landing page, like a dating landing page, something that you create. Again, you don't have to do this. After that, here's an opt-in form. This is your opt-in form. I like to rotate 4 of them, right? Really, you can just rotate 1 and split test headlines. I'm not going to get too much into split testing and all that stuff right now. But the point here is you want to create an engagement. You want to capture the customer lead, and I'll show you actual live examples here in a second. But it can be a standard opt-in, okay, just your normal opt-in page where you pre-qualify the visitor. It can be a survey type of thing, right? So a survey is, where you ask the person maybe 2-3 questions, right, with just little check boxes. And all that stuff does, you don't even have to collect those responses. It's just a micro commitment. Okay, again, I'll mention micro commitment later, but it's getting someone to take a micro commitment. And what that does is it gets them more enveloped in your process. So if they've said yes to you 3 times, let's say, on some questions by checking the box, they're more likely to say yes when you ask for that email address or ask for that phone number or whatever it is. So this is essentially your own offer. Okay, if you ever see a lead gen offer, I'll show you some of the government grant ones here in a second, but if you ever see a government grant offer, it's a good example on the CPA networks, they're essentially doing this exact model. Now, after somebody submits this form, it goes to a qualification. Again, this is kind of an optional page. A qualification is just, have you ever filled out a form and it shows like a clock or a spinning, animated GIF that says, checking qualification in your area. Oh, we have 4 work-from-home opportunities or something like that. Well, that's just that simple middle qualification page. And all that does is it gets the person thinking, oh, okay, did I qualify? Did I qualify? That's very important for getting someone really excited to see what's on the next page. And what's on the next page is that monetized thank you page. Now, the monetized thank you page, it's kind of like your normal thank you page that says, thank you, you'll be receiving an email from us, blah, blah, blah. But what we're going to do here is we're going to put 5 to 6 relevant CPA offers on that thank you page. So we're not going to take just one shot at getting them to monetize right there. We're going to take several shots. Okay, 5 to 6, maybe even 3 to 4, but ideally you've got 5. The example I'm going to show you later is in a bit here, it has 4. The type of offers we want on there. Okay, let's talk about the type of offers. So, low barrier stuff. You want things like email submits, other form submits. Remember, the person just submitted a form right here. Okay, the person just submitted a form. So they're probably likely to submit another form. You already know they submit forms. You don't know if they buy stuff, but you already know they submit forms. So then they're likely to submit another form right here. And that form might pay you $2, $1.50. What I'm going to show you here in a bit is all stuff that made me $1.50 each time, but combined it adds up to a lot of money when you're running good traffic. Trials, risk-free trial offers are other good things like credit reports, diet offers, BizOp offers, that sort of stuff. Things that cost the person under $5, but you get paid out $20 or so, right? $20, $30, $40, that sort of thing. Low barrier continuity. I'll get more into detail on this stuff in a second. So again, since they're already opting in, it's easier to get them to do an opt-in offer or a survey or a quiz offer and that sort of thing. Again, think micro commitments. Now after that, you've already monetized them here. Our goal here is to break even or make a small profit on the front end. But even if we break even, great, because now we have that whole list. And now we have an email series of follow-ups and broadcasts. So this is where you can make a lot of money going forward, and you don't have to keep buying traffic on such a large scale once you get a big enough list to work with. So let's look at a practical example. This is one that I've done that's generated me a lot of money. So let's look at that right now. So this is actual landing pages. I'm going to show you actual thank you pages, all that sort of stuff, so please pay attention. So this was a grant offer, government grant landing page that I ran. Okay, and so here are my 4 pages that I was rotating. Okay, 4 pages. Incidentally, number 3 did the best. Okay, number 3 did the best right here. This one right here, bottom left. So all these types of landing pages, they're very, very simple to create. You can make one of these in a program like WYSIWYG Web Builder or Zara. It's X-A-R-A. Those are landing page creators. Or somebody can create these for you. I had a guy make them for 20 bucks each. Very, very cheap. But really, they all kind of have the same fundamentals to them. So I'll discuss what those are now. First of all, you have what's called, I call the hero shot. Okay, the hero shot is just a photo or a video, usually on the left-hand side, that connects well with the audience. Okay, I like an amateur-looking photo because that's usually, these ones look a little too polished, and that could be why this one worked better. But even more so, an amateur-looking photo tends to work better. So that's a good tip if you're doing any dating offers and that sort of stuff. Usually a call to action arrow that says qualify today. I like to use the words qualify, that sort of thing, because it makes the person feel like they have to apply, and that makes them want it even more, right? Keep that in mind. Here's where we have our form, arrows all going there, call to action form. Everything from here downward is just kind of a consistent arrow right to that form. We want people to submit this. And this was the one that got the best opt-in rate, okay? More bullet points and benefits, all that sort of stuff. But this is essentially the landing page formula that tends to work for these offers. This one right here was a mobile version of it. This is I actually got the cheapest opt-ins, about 20-cent opt-ins in the grant market on networks like JumpTap in the mobile networks. And so this was one where I'd collect name and email on people's mobile phones, smartphones, that sort of stuff. And this was just a mobile formatted thing. It opened it would open full screen on somebody's iPhone, that sort of thing. And I got a lot of cheap opt-ins that way. All right, so the monetized thank you page. This is the other important part about it. Okay, the monetized thank you page, what it really does is, number one, it has to pre-frame and set expectations for the person. Okay, so on this one, person just opted into one of these or this one, and then it goes to here. It says, hello and thank you for applying to qualify for government grants. In the next 10 minutes, you'll receive an email from us regarding the next steps in the grant qualification process. So again, it's giving them expectations to check their email, that sort of thing. To get you started immediately, below we've provided some instant resources that you can use to increase your chance of qualifying today. Okay, and then again, big, bold, red lettering. To increase your chance of qualification is highly recommended, yada, yada, yada. Now, what are these links right here? Okay, click here and submit the it's telling them exactly what to do. Well, these links right here are all offers that are ranked in terms of highest EPC. And I can look at my network reports after running traffic for a few days, and I can see, okay, this offer, it has the highest EPC, this has second highest, this has third. So we're just going to put the one that's converting the best, the highest. And then the second highest, we're going to put it second place, and third, and so on. Okay? So the whole idea is to get them to check that email, right? Because in that intro email, in that welcome email, obviously there's going to be an offer, right, to our highest converting offer, and then starts to get them to check these. So the people that often submitted here, I was getting on this highest offer, I was getting a 65-cent EPC. Okay, now that's very high for an offer that pays out at $1.10. Okay, that's a very high EPC for an offer that pays out at $1.10. That's almost like I don't know what the percentage is off the top of my head. I'm not that great at math, but it's a very high percentage of the people that get to this page will click on here and will fill it out. Okay, so remember, again, they've already opted in. There's a good chance they're going to opt in again immediately to related offers. Okay. So as I mentioned, my EPC was 65 cents, 70 cents on good days. That's great for a $1 payout. And again, my goal is simply to break even on the front end. And the reason being is this. That's the email follow-up sequence. Okay? People ask me, okay, I got to write emails, that sort of stuff. To be honest with you guys, secret between myself and the few hundred that are on the call here, the way that I got a lot of the emails was just by opting into relevant offers on CPA networks. And I would just take the same type of subject lines, because these are offers that run a lot of volume. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to screw with their formula too much. I'll take the kind of sequence of offers they did and that sort of thing, and I'll see, hey, where can I improve? You know, how can I kind of rip this for my own purposes and improve on it? And so that's what I did. And the thing with the email sequence is this. This is so important. A lot of people don't get it. People think, I don't have enough government grant offers to have like 30 emails about government grants. It's going to get tired. People do that so often in their email follow-up, and it screws things up a lot. Ask yourself this. What is somebody who fills out one of those forms or fills out a BizOp form or something like that? What is it that they want? Obviously, they want more money. Okay? So that opens you up. If you think in those terms of demographics and psychographics, that opens you up to a lot of different offers. Okay, so someone seeking grants might be interested in going back to school, for example, or improving their education, right? Or, you know, again, making more money. Okay, the reason they want to do all that, the reason they want to get a better education, all that sort of stuff, is to make more money again, and that opens us up to other offers. Because you own the list, okay, you can give your subscribers several options. So if you see here, you know, we started out with the grant stuff. You know, get your free success guide, qualify for a grant. You know, right here, prescriptions. This is other stuff. Financial aid. Okay, so this is more. This is an education offer. This one right here, a make money BizOp offer. Legal offers. You know, lawsuit offers that we're paying out at, you know, $200 to $500 on the network, still are. Another grant offer. Credit reports. Tax offers. Again, credit reports, education, legal. So all that stuff, you know, once you have that demographic, you're just owning a list of people that are interested in one thing, but there's obviously lateral stuff that you can go with. And that's a very, very key lesson if you want to maximize the amount of money that you make out of this list. Other monetization options, okay, this is for people that want to take it even more advanced, okay, get even more advanced with it. Immediate trial or one-time offers, okay? So an immediate one-time offer trial would be somebody opts in, and then you send them to a quick bridge page that has like a, you know, buy now button that is a, you know, $1 to $5 trial. So a rebill offer on the CPA networks. You can find a lot of them on OfferVault, right? And your payout is going to be $25 to $40, okay? So I call this a front-end multiplier. You can even add one of those on the monetized thank you page if you want. Right? So that's called a front-end multiplier, and all that means is you have a chance of getting one conversion that's going to pay out for tons of your traffic spend, okay, if you're buying traffic. Another one, immediate $1 to $9 low-price continuities. This is for you people that want to build your own buyers list, because the buyers list is really the most profitable type of list to have. Not necessary, but if it's something you want to do, all this can be is like an exclusive email newsletter. Okay, everyone thinks that, a product's got to be all complicated. No, an exclusive email newsletter, it's a newsletter for $1 or, you know, $5 after that per month, and it's something you can set up with PayPal and Aweber. Again, this is more advanced. You don't have to do this, but it's just another option. Immediate pay-per-lead and survey offers, as I showed, right? As I shown in the government grants example, that's probably the fastest one to set up. This whole thing, by the way, guys, just to give you an idea, once I had these landers created for me, which took about a day, this took me about another half day to set up, and then I started getting traffic to it. So this is something very, very quickly that you could start tonight. Highly recommended. when you have these landing pages right here, adding a pay-per-lead offer that we talked about on an exit pop-up. Because you own this page now, right, you can't do this if you're direct linking. Because you own this page now, when someone tries to leave, I'd recommend exit popping them and sending them to an offer that is relevant, but a CPA offer that you'll get an immediate payout on. And often you'll get like a 10-15% conversion of the people that exit pop, and then you're able to make a lot of your front-end ad spend back very, very quickly. So if you can create your own low-price one-time offer, again, with or without continuity, you don't have to. You can then begin to create that buyer's list of people qualified for low-priced offers. Okay, and obviously there's a lot of low-priced offers on the CPA networks that that pay upwards of $45 off a trial. So again, it puts you in a better position. Again, not necessary. You don't have to do it, but I do recommend it. Once you get more advanced with the pseudo merchant model. So although the pseudo-merchant strategy is extremely powerful, it's very flexible, it does assume you know how to drive traffic, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume that everyone on this call is a little familiar with paid traffic tactics, things like PPC, cost per view, Facebook ads, media buying, that sort of stuff. Okay, so now you may be saying, if you're someone who started out, you may be saying you've tried buying traffic before, it just didn't work out, you lost money, you gave up on it, that sort of stuff, or you tend not to be able to break even. Well, the pseudo-merchant thing will help you with that for sure. But bottom line, buying traffic is the fastest, most scalable, most measurable, and most predictable way to make a lot of money very, very quickly. Some guys do really well with SEO. I'm not hating on SEO, but after the penguin, panda, the whole zoology updates that Google had, at the end of the day, you have the most control buying your own traffic because there's so many places to buy a lot of traffic from. So if you failed at it before, it's most likely because you made one of the common mistakes I see and will see a lot of marketers making. And so avoiding these will save you tons of time and money. So let's get to those right now. Get ready to take notes. These are things that are going to help you save a lot of money. It costs us a lot of time and money to learn this stuff. So mistake number one is not having specific and linear conversion goals. Okay? And don't worry if this is too advanced for you. I'll break it down, make it sound really simple. This is far more common than you think. Okay, most affiliates, especially affiliates, simply care about the conversion. Okay, all they care about is I need to get a conversion. That's it. And then they don't get a conversion. They send some traffic, and they're like, oh, this stuff doesn't work, and they go back to writing articles or doing whatever. So we need conversion goals right from the ad that we're showing people going forward. So basically, your ad spend needs a purpose. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about improving your click-through rate first. Okay? Click-through rate, if you don't know, it's basically the percent of people that click on your ad that actually saw your ad. So if 100 people saw your ad and one person clicks it, you have a 1% click-through rate. Okay? The next thing we want is our landing page click-through rate. Okay? Or the percent of people that see our lead capture page, right? Percent of people that see this page that actually opt in. Okay? That's a very important number we want. And so we want to always be pre-framing. We want to start improving the ad first, then the lander, then the opt-in, whatever it is. Don't just think of the conversions on the back end. Have some patience. Make each segment of it improve, sequentially going forward. So if you do your job correctly on the ads, then the landers, then then the opt-in page, whatever it is, the conversions will come. Okay, that's your kind of your antenna. It's your homing beacon that tells you, hey, I'm getting closer. The ads are getting high click-through rate, so they're responding to something there. So look at it that way. Too many people don't look at their data patiently and in an analytical way. They get too emotional. They just say, oh, I didn't make any money. That's it. I lost money, and then they give up. Okay, so remember, you're not losing money. You're buying data. Very, very important to keep that in mind. Mistake number two is not knowing your numbers. Okay, not knowing your numbers. You need to think more about EPC, so your earnings per click, the amount of money you make for every click that goes to the offer or to your pages, more so than the cost per click. So a lot of people right now might say, oh, I'd never pay $2 per click. Well, I have a product right now in the anti-aging market that we're running, and we're paying more than $2 per click on one of the sites that we're getting traffic from, and we're getting about a 50% ROI on it. So we're making about, for every $100 we spend, we're getting $150 back. Okay, we're making $50 profit on each one, still with that expensive product. So it does expensive click costs. So it doesn't matter what the cost per click is really. If my EPC is higher than my CPC, then I'm fine. I'm going to make money and be happy with it. Okay. So if you're doing the pseudo merchant model, you need to know your EPC and your dollar per lead early on. Without making this too technical of a webinar, basically your dollar per lead is, let's say you sent a bunch of traffic and you made $1,000 or you made $100 for every 50 leads that you generated. Okay, well your dollar per lead then is $2 per lead. Okay, and all that means is that you know that you can't spend more than $2 per opt-in per lead, okay, unless you don't care to break even. That's pretty much it. Now speculate all you want, listen to all the gurus, listen to whoever else, but you'll only know your numbers by running traffic. Okay, so at the end of the day, more important than reading and watching videos and all that sort of stuff is putting your money down or putting your time in and running traffic. Okay, that's number one. And mistake number 3, and I'm sure Will and anyone experienced in this game can appreciate this, not buying enough data. Possibly the biggest mistake of all. Okay, this is possibly the biggest mistake of all that I see beginners make. Now, Will has a different way of doing it than I do. He's got a pretty cool way, so I'll let him chime in here in a second. I'll explain the way I look at it, but both methods pretty much mean you're buying enough data. So for me personally, what I see guys do is they'll send like maybe 100 or 200 clicks, and then they'll end a campaign. Okay, they'll be like, this stuff doesn't work. I'm not making money. I lost money, and that's it. Ideally, I'll send a minimum of 300 clicks per element. Now, what I mean by that is that could be per ad creative, per landing page, per offer, per opt-in, whatever. I try to send 300. Now, the more things that you're testing at once, the more data and the more clicks you need. Okay, so if you're lower on budget, obviously 300 clicks is going to be a lot. So start by optimizing your front-facing ads first. Just get an ad that's relevant to your opt-in or to your offer, and get an ad that gets a really high click-through rate that's still relevant. That's really important. Will, did you want to talk about that at all in terms of buying enough data? Because I know you have a little different way of doing it.
Yeah, no, I do agree with testing the elements, but I go even further on the pay-per-click side, and I treat each individual keyword that you're bidding on as a test as well, and then I assign a maximum spend for each individual keyword, and then as soon as you hit that maximum spend per keyword, you have to decide whether you're going to keep it or drop it. So it does kind of tie in with your 300 clicks per element, because you could still send 300 clicks to a landing page, but they could come from like 15 or 20 different keywords. So I'm going even further back to the exact keywords that you're bidding on, and it all depends on really for me the payout of the offer. So say an offer like it's an email submit and it pays $1.50, and you say you want 100% ROI, which is pretty steep for an email submit, but some people do. So that means you're only willing to spend 75 cents per keyword in order to make $1.50. So your maximum spend per keyword in that case would be 75 cents, which means you have to get a ton of dirt cheap clicks or you're never going to do it. So that's my theory on that. But I do agree with you on making sure your landing pages and your ads get enough clicks to thoroughly test them.
For sure, yeah. And so, Will does a slightly different way, but it's very similar still. It's all about buying enough data. So in terms of ads, guys, people ask me, and they ask Will, how many ads should I test? I personally like to do 3 to 5 ads if possible. Okay, I try not to vary 2 major elements from ad to ad. In terms of landing pages, you can make it radically different, right? You want to see which style works. But with the ads, I don't like to change the copy or the image at the same time. So what I'll either do is I'll either keep all the images the same. This applies to Facebook ads, it applies to Google ads, applies to whatever else. If they're image ads, I like to keep either the image the same and split test the copy, the ad copy, make the ad copy different, the wording from one thing to the next, or I keep the wording the same, the headlines the same, and I test the images against each other. Because if you don't, a little reminder for me, if you don't do that, okay, if you just go ahead and you start testing a whole bunch of stuff at once, you might find a winner. Usually, you won't, but you might find a winner, but at the same time, you won't know why it was a winner. Okay, and that's really, really important. So this is going to let you see what's working, and then you can adjust course afterwards more efficiently. So now to help you out you guys with some campaigns you might be running right now. So let's say you're running something right now. I want you to be able to take some stuff and apply to it right now, see if you can apply. So I'm going to give you 3 big breakthroughs that cost myself a ton of money and time to learn, okay? So these are very, very important, and these are things that I actually learned, some of them, a couple of them, on a webinar just like this a couple years back when I was starting out, maybe like you are. It was actually an Offer Vault webinar, I think. So one of them was an Offer Vault webinar. So, you know, you can learn a lot of stuff on these things. So make sure you're taking notes. Again, these are essential, especially for affiliates. So breakthrough number 1. Okay, breakthrough number 1, bid high, budget low. Okay, bid high, budget low. Now what you need to understand is that most paid traffic systems are an auction to some extent. Okay, at the end of the day, we like to think that Google and Facebook and, you know, all the CPV traffic networks and Plenty of Fish and all these guys, we like to think that they really love us. Okay, at the end of the day, though, they're in the business to make money. Okay, they want to make money. They want to, you know, make money. That's why they're selling ads, right? So it's an auction to some extent. So what that means is, you know, a while back on Facebook, for example, bidding low, starting low, then going high, that's what I used to recommend. That's what I used to do. But things started to change once Facebook realized, you know, started to make it more like an auction. And now it's pretty much just like every other network out there. So I tend to bid high so that I'm getting good reach, so that I make sure I'm getting traffic. A lot of people, you know, write to us and they're like, I'm not getting traffic. I'm, you know, bidding whatever X amount of cents and I'm not getting traffic. And then I'm like, bid higher. Okay, often, you know, I'd say 80% of the time, if they just bid higher, they'll start getting more impressions. Okay, now so you bid high, you bid competitively to start getting traffic, but budget low for your wallet. So let's say you got a budget of $20 a day. Okay, well, you're like, okay, I want to bid 10 cents a click, but you're not getting traffic at 10 cents. Well, try 30 cents, try 50 cents. Bid a little bit higher. I'm not saying go out and bid $1 or $2 right away. Bid a little higher, just so you start seeing what's getting traffic for you. And then go from there. But keep the budget at $20 so you don't blow your budget out and, you know, hurt your wallet. So this is the way it's been for years. It's always going to be an auction. I don't see any, you know, any reason for the traffic networks in the future to go, hey, you know what, I think we're just going to, you know, be real charitable to everyone out there, and we're going to start saving them some money. So, hey, guys, free impressions for everyone. I don't think it's going to work that way.
That would be nice.
Breakthrough. That'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool if Google sent me that email. Breakthrough number 2, the 3 kings of traffic. So I guess this could be 3 more breakthroughs, but I put them all together as the 3 kings. King number 1. A lot of guys, a lot of marketers don't ask themselves, who am I marketing to? Okay, the demographics. Start thinking in terms of demographics. I'm going to give you a very quick example of this. If you had a weight loss offer and you were doing keyword bidding on MSN Ad Center, for example, okay, what type of keywords would you go after? Probably weight loss keywords, right? And I think most people would do that. Most people would bid on weight loss keywords, and obviously that can work. Okay, but if you want to start getting really scalable traffic where you can spend a lot of money and make a lot of money, then you got to start thinking in terms of demographics. Look at the ideal person that is actually going to fill out this offer, and then think of the keywords of the sites that those people would be on. Not necessarily just weight loss. Think of, are they without giving away too much stuff here, are they primarily Christian? Or are they primarily, that's a weird one, I know, but primarily Republican or more affluent? Are they golfers, right? You know, then you start getting different keywords. Will, do you have something to say?
Yeah, I was going to say that's a new niche, like God wants you to lose weight. That'd be a good angle.
That'd be a very good angle. It would probably convert high, especially if you targeted the right people.
I'm going to try that one.
You should, yeah. The next up, you know, I prefer larger markets. We prefer larger markets, not necessarily obscure niches. There's different talk about this. Obviously, small niches can give you a lower competition, but health, wealth, and relationships, even if you stick to one segment in there, can make you a millionaire. That's it, bottom line. So what I want you to do is splinter to avoid heavy competition. Here's an example. You're in the weight loss niche. My very first successful campaign in CPA marketing was in the get ripped niche. So guys looking to get ripped and build muscle. That was a couple of years back. That was my first successful one. Okay, that's still in the massive fitness and weight loss market. Okay, still in the massive health market. Okay, so you can still make a lot of money there. However, splintered down to guys that use the words get ripped. And, you know, that small little segment is still massive. That segment alone was generating, you know, 5K a day, and I wasn't the only guy, obviously, in there. I mean, Will and I have a mutual friend who was generating, I think, upwards more than 10K a day. He was hitting. He was hitting 10K a day at least, while I was running at, you know, 5K a day. So there's so much scale in that tiny little part. So I'm sure everyone on the call would appreciate another 5K a day. The pain is still primal, but it's more accessible when you splinter down. And all that means is it's still something people really want. You know, they still really want to get ripped and get lean and that sort of thing. Okay? Do they necessarily want to collect coins so badly that they'll spend money right now? Maybe, but probably not as much as a health-related thing. Another big one, 1 to 2 markets at most. Will and I see this in the forum a lot, and we always have to, you know, kick guys in the ass about it. Stick to 1 to 2 markets in the beginning, like 1 to 2 traffic sources, same type of thing. Just get focused at first. Will likes to diversify. I'm sure he's going to say something about that right now. Before you do, like Will likes to diversify, but at the same time, are you diversifying? I'm going to say this, Will, and then you can say what you want. Yep. Are you diversifying because you encountered some challenge, and then you're like, oh, okay, this is too hard, and then you jump to another thing? Or did you diversify because you got something successful and then you moved? You do that? That's awesome. I do that now. Will, you probably want to add to that.
No, I agree with that. And like if you do find something and you want to diversify, then take it to another traffic source. And that's a lot of what I do. I'm always trying to be a small fish in a big pond. Just because I've been, like, the people that know my story know that I've been burned. I've had to rebuild from basically zero twice already in my online career. So I don't like to have all my eggs in one basket and have like one niche running on one traffic source. I want to be in one niche but have like, you know, 8 or 10 different traffic sources funneling leads into it. So that's my style. So it does tie in. It's not everybody's style. Some guys just want to go with one source, one offer, and boom, go as big as they can and scale it. And then those are the guys, though, that they've never been burned and they've never had it pulled out from under them, so they don't know yet what's going to happen. And as soon as they do, then they start going, oh man, I wish I diversified, because then I wouldn't be rebuilding from square one literally again. Yeah. So that's kind of my style. I am very much diversity. I love it, but I do agree too that you can't be trying to learn all these different traffic sources at once. You have to pick 1 or 2, focus on those, master them, then add in another, then add in another, and keep building it that way.
Yeah, and it's a good point you made about diversifying the traffic. That's different than diversifying too many markets. 10 markets would be very difficult. It's tough to manage. I mean, you have to know how to speak to 10 different groups of people. So in terms of traffic, yeah, if you get something working in your market and you've dominated one traffic source or you've gotten it really successful, look at what's similar and then start scaling out. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So this is your guys' choice, not mine, you know, not Will's. We can't really pick that for you. We have a lot of people in the forum. They're like, well, not a lot of people, but you have a couple of people in the forum where they're like, you know, give me a market and give me, you know, and we make suggestions, but at the end of the day, it is your choice, and hopefully it's going to follow, you know, it's going to be one of those big ones. King number 2 is the offer, okay, especially important for CPA marketers, okay. Fact is, if they don't want it, they don't want it, okay, and all that means is if you're trying to push water uphill or trying to push a boulder uphill by promoting some offer that nobody wants, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just not going to work, right? The offer might just suck. The advantage of the pseudo-merchant model that I showed is that you can tweak the offer yourself. Okay, you can tweak the offer yourself until you get it converting very, very well. In CPA marketing, a lot of this comes down to the buddy-buddy with your affiliate manager, you know, getting good feedback from them. Again, you know, a good affiliate manager will say things like, well, if you have female diet traffic, so they'll be demographic based, they'll say try running this or try running that. Also be careful how much an affiliate manager shares with you. If they start sharing other people's ads and landing pages, don't show them any of yours, because chances are they're going to show the next new affiliate that stuff, so just be a little careful when it comes to that. But for the most part, be buddy-buddy with them, and, you know, but keep them still at arm's distance and that sort of thing. One thing also to keep in mind, if the offer is converting for other people and not yourself, then you have a mismatch between your market angle and the offer. It's as simple as that. Don't overcomplicate it. It's simply you're just not connecting the dots properly. Okay, so in the forum and whatnot, we go into more detail on that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, if it is converting for other people, it can convert for you. You just have to find the right angle. King number 3 is your click-through rate. Obviously, conversion rate is extremely important, but click-through rate is the most important factor for getting cheap traffic. Okay, whether you're on a cost per click bidding setup or you're on a CPM, cost per thousand setup, right? The higher your click-through rate is, essentially the cheaper traffic you get. Okay, so bidding higher, right? Our bid high, budget low. Bidding higher gives you higher visibility, and what that tends to do is give you a higher click-through rate. Now, a good idea, especially if you're starting out, is to optimize the click-through rate first. So look at your click-through rate first, then your conversions afterwards. I know it can kind of seem a little backwards, but when you optimize the click-through rate first, you see what first point of contact is working best for your prospects. Now, here's an important point. Write this down. Optimize the click-through rate first. Yes, ads are so important, but don't make the ads ridiculous just to get a high click. I'm sure you've probably seen ads on Facebook, for example, where there's a hot girl in the ad, and then you click on the ad and it goes to some internet marketer's page. Has nothing to do with hot women. Okay? That's a ridiculous disconnect. All that's doing is getting a high click-through rate for the sake of a high click-through rate, but I can almost guarantee that the conversions are much lower than if they sacrifice the lower click-through rate but really pre-frame the offer well. Okay? So keep that in mind. Don't get too cute, don't get ridiculous, but go for imagery that is, imagery or ad writing and that sort of thing that is relevant. It's your first point of contact with prospects, so you want to sell the benefits. Things like shock, fear, numbers, question marks, blue underlined text, scroll bars, all that sort of stuff increases click-through rate. The book Cashvertising is a fantastic book. I've been recommending it for a while. It's great for writing short copy for ads and that sort of stuff. And to show you just some examples of some older ads that I've run, these are some right here. Teeth white, and this is all older stuff for the most part. Get ripped in 30 days. This is my original one. It's great to see this ad running on Men's Fitness, which was pretty cool. Very reputable site, and then you see this ridiculous ad running there. But at the end of the day, that ad pulled higher than any, in terms of click-through rate, pulled higher than any ad that the guys at Men's Fitness had seen at the time. So, it's ugly. All this stuff's ugly, but they do work. Breakthrough number 3, very quickly. Find the traffic first, okay? So beginning and intermediate marketers, they make the mistake of basing their campaigns around offers, okay? So at the end of the day, offers will come and go, but evergreen markets last long, okay? Aggressive trends are the only exception in the sense that, when the iPhone, American Idol finale was like last week, right? So, in that case, if you put a campaign together for American Idol, like a poll campaign, right, that Will's talked about a lot, then yeah, that's an exception to that. Again, where does your market hang out? Okay, leverage existing trust. Okay, this is why fan pages often work. This is why buying a campaign. I have a campaign right now running on a major political site that looks a lot like, the ads look a lot like the actual site itself. It makes people think that it's an actual news article at the site that they're going to. Okay, very much leveraging trust. That's a huge way to do it. Buying sponsored blog posts on people's blogs is another way. Again, it's usually based around demographics, and always remember that offers are meant to be plugged in and not just plugged, so not just promoted. They're meant to be put into a stream of traffic instead of saying, oh, that offer went down, now I'm screwed. So again, pseudo merchant for the win. The pseudo merchant system works perfectly for that. So speaking of traffic, I'm going to finish off this call here by showing you my entire traffic rollout blueprint, and I'm going to show you some of the traffic sources that I use and recommend, especially for beginners as well. So don't worry if this kind of looks complicated or whatever else. This is kind of how deep the rabbit hole goes, as I talked about. This is how you, starting with self-serve traffic, you can start getting into a world of different monetization options. The initial testing is often down here. Often self-serve type stuff. So Facebook, Plenty of Fish, Traffic Vance, Lead Impact, right? Google Display Network. Here, small direct-to-site buys. This isn't, self-serve, but it's still very powerful. So testing demographics and placements here, right? This is where you're going to test demographics. You're going to build what's called a proof of concept. You can make millions here alone, but it's volatile in some affiliate markets. Obviously, we love Google Display Network, not just not Google, right? They're a little strict with us. Keep in mind with this, guys, I can't make guarantees based on the niche, right? I need to know the niche you're in. But the pseudo merchant option allows you to run easier on Google than just about any other CPA or affiliate method would, okay? Except direct linking some offers that they're okay with, which are few and far between. So that's another bonus with the pseudo merchant setup. Other than collecting the leads and stuff, you can often run on networks that are cracking down more on affiliates. After that, I get into large site media buys, more CPV, network buys. Then it gets into, if you're generating your own leads, so again, pseudo merchant, right? You can start paying affiliates. If you know that your dollar per lead is $2 per lead, you can start paying affiliate buddies $1 for every opt-in that they send you. SMS sequences, you can sell off a lot of the email leads you get, lead exchanges, call centers, lots of stuff you can do after the fact. Don't want to confuse you too much here, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of ways you can go if you do that pseudo merchant type of setup that we talked about. For our purposes here, look at just the bottom part of this chart here. That's where you usually want to start. You can go to large site buys if you have the money. So there's tons of places to buy traffic. This is some of the criteria I look at, and I suggest you look at this as well. Personally, I like large-scale direct-to-site media buys. Okay, bottom line, they're easy to target, self-serve. It's easy to manage looking at one site, and there's some big sites out there that can deliver a lot of volume. You can buy $1,000, $2,000 worth of traffic from one site, and then you go on to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, and it's much easier to manage all specific sites and a bunch of networks. Problem with that, it's too expensive for most starting out. Okay, $3,000 to $5,000 minimums is often what you're looking at unless you can negotiate very, very well. So if you got the money to do it, if you're on the call right now and you got the money to do it, then do it. Look into doing that. Beginner or not, though, what we need is a scalable traffic source. We need something that we can spend $100 a day just as easy as we can spend $1,000 a day or $5,000 a day, okay? We don't want it so that we cap out our traffic source and we got to find something else. Google AdWords is fantastic. We all know their quality is awesome. If you don't think Google's quality is awesome, you are doing it wrong. I kind of laugh a lot of times when people say Google's traffic sucks. It does not suck. It's some of the highest quality traffic out there. But they're not the easiest if you're an affiliate and you don't give your firstborn. So the pseudo merchant thing helps, sure, but at the end of the day, they're still not big fans of affiliates. There are some offers still allowed, but it can be tricky. Again, great traffic. So what I recommend the following four sources for those starting out with lower budgets, and they're still very, very scalable. Where you can spend more than $1,000 a day if you had to. So Facebook, plenty of fish. Lead Impact. Lead Impact tends to have more volume now than traffic source, and small direct-to-site media buys. Okay, so small direct-to-site media buys, that's the only one that's not self-serve. Okay, so often the lazy people don't go there, but there are some benefits there as well. It gets you used to media buying. Facebook, I don't have to go into that. Huge, huge volume. They are cracking down a bit more on affiliates. The pseudo merchant setup does help a lot on Facebook. Okay, so it will help you there. Plenty of fish. We love those guys. CPM bidding only, but get used to CPM bidding and you'll be miles ahead of everyone else who's stuck on cost per click. They love affiliates. They're great with affiliates. I love those guys. They're awesome. Lead Impact, Traffic Vance. I tend to find cost per view to be a little more risky, CPV to be a little more risky and expensive for beginners. A lot of beginners like it. I tend to find it more expensive. Plenty of Fish is a great option. Obviously, Facebook is as well. So let's recap what we've learned tonight. Okay, what we've learned today in the past hour. So you know now why the pure affiliate game is a tough one to win. Okay? We gave you a solid strategy that eliminates the typical affiliate problems, and it gives you the benefit of an offer or a product owner without all the headache like customer support and all that sort of stuff. Now what it allows you to do is it allows you to beat up and push other affiliates out of the way. Bottom line, it allows you to brute force people out of the way. I then told you how to get fast traffic for this strategy or any other and how to do it in a safe way without leaving you broke. And finally, we gave you some of my big traffic breakthroughs and favorite traffic sources to start earning fast. So what now? Okay, choose what I want you guys to do now. If you're a little confused on what to do or up until now you haven't really had a battle plan, this is what I want you to do. Or maybe you're hopping around from stuff. Choose one market to serve. Okay, number one, choose one market to serve. You can go broad if you have the budget, but at the end of the day, choose one. Don't jump into 5, 10 different markets. Like, to give you an idea, I have about 5, 6 projects going on, but they're only in about 2 to 3 unique markets. And even for myself, that's hard to manage. Okay, it's tough to manage. So don't do that. You know, if you're starting out, even if you're intermediate, stick with one. If you don't have a lot of money to outsource, then stick with one and drive it home and go hard there. Try to choose one traffic source to master now. Just get good at traffic and conversions. That's all you need to make tons and tons of money. Okay, so most can make 4 figures a day. Most of the ones, well, all the ones that I showed you today can make 4 figures a day. Okay, start plugging in high converting offers into those markets and into that traffic. Okay, build your own thing out, like the pseudo merchant stuff. Get some stability. Build something that you can monetize and make money on 2, 5, 10 years from now. Next up, master principles and forget hype. That's a big thing. Your inbox is probably getting bombarded with tons of different guru launches or whatever else. Forget the hype and just focus on the principles. And those principles are always going to be traffic and conversion. If you master traffic and conversion, number one, that's all you need to make millions for yourself. Number two, you are sought out by a lot of people. I'm sought out all the time by people to run their offers. Will is sought out in an agency respect to run people's offers. Okay, so when you have those master skills, traffic and conversion, I don't care what anybody else says, you get the golden ticket. Okay, so that's all you got to master. Stay in there. Understand that education in traffic and conversion will pay you off better than just about any education you could get. And always, always believe and know that you can do it. I was on a very similar call, you know, almost 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. I was on a very similar call as this one right now, and a few of those things that I picked up were able to get me to my first 4-figure day and beyond. So just understand that it's very important, this stuff that I showed you. And obviously you want to make sure that you have the right training and the right support team behind you. You know, you got to learn how to do it the right way, and then apply, and then go back and test and tweak and that sort of stuff. So now, if it's all right, guys, what I'd like to do, we'd like to give you an opportunity to get access to what many people have called the best training forum on traffic and income generation that they've ever seen. So I'm sure you guys can agree that after, you know, all that, it really pays to hear this sort of stuff from someone who's in the trenches already making a full-time living this way. And I think a big problem, and Will would agree, is a big problem in this industry is that a lot of people teaching make their money that way and not by actually doing it. So a while back, a couple of years back actually, I started to share a lot of my information on my blog, and through that I got a bunch of people asking me for more information and that sort of thing. So long story short, I had tons of people asking me for coaching and that sort of stuff, and personally I didn't have much time for it. Even now, as I mentioned, you know, I've got maybe 2 one-on-one people, now 1 really, so I didn't really have a lot of time for it. Now out of the blue one day, you know, I used to be a member of PPC Coach actually, and out of the blue one day back in October, Will approach me about a new kind of training form, okay, something different than a lot of the ones that are out there right now. So it was kind of a great opportunity since he had already been training people for a very long time, and I wanted a way to help people out as well. So very quickly what we did is we formed what has become the fastest growing private training forum out there right now, and we call it 6monthsfromtoday.com. Now the reason we call it 6 months from today, well, bottom line is we've found that the 6-month mark is when a lot of people tend to make or break it, or sometimes they quit. So our goal, it says it right on the front page, is to get you profitable as fast as possible. So the forum contains everything that we know about marketing with paid traffic, that's media buying, cost per view, Facebook strategies, basically anything you ever wanted to know about traffic and conversion is in there. In fact, when we launched, we took a lot of our content and we had about 100 and 150 posts in there before people actually even signed on. So a lot of real good content, stuff that would be in like $1,000, $2,000 courses, and it was already preloaded in there, so it's already in there. And the other thing that it also includes, full tutorials on the pseudo merchant strategy that we touched on tonight, as well as how to technically set it up. Now obviously in the 1 hour we had, I couldn't go into how to track it correctly and that sort of thing. So we have full tutorials in the forum as well for there. And we also include my very newbie-friendly CPA course, Profit 101, as a free bonus. So from beginning to end, you can learn about the CPA industry in depth, and also all the top producing traffic methods for 2012. And so that's thrown in there as a bonus. And you're going to get it as a free bonus, like I said, just for signing up to the private coaching forums if you decide to do that. And now we've been really grateful to have received so many kind words about the forum and success stories already, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to share a few of them with you here right now. This is one of our members here. Her name's Vivian, and she said, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but she said, I was one of the first 100 members to join 6 months from today. All I can say is wow and thank you, Chad and Will. They've been holding my hand, helping me each and every day with any questions I have since the beginning. Another one from Alex. Best of all, I get numerous chances to interact with Chad and Will in the main forum and the Idea Incubator forums. These two guys are successful marketers, have offered me many helpful suggestions and strategies, etc. These reviews are on a site called imreportcard.com. Feel free to go check it out and look out 6 months from today, but there's actual real reviews right there, and people have been really, the thing is, a lot of other forums, the actual forum owners aren't in there as much as the moderators, and I know myself, I have about 3,500 posts in there myself because I'm in there all the time, and Will's in there quite a bit. He's got tons of posts in there as well, so it's quite a departure from a lot of stuff that you see out there right now. This is one of our success stories, just one of them. There's quite a few in the success stories forum, but this is from Biker Boy, a guy named Alfred. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he says, so far my best day is $745 in revenue, 93% ROI, and actually this is a little older, that post. Alfred is now, I think so far he's at about $10,000 he's generated, and very short, like he hadn't really made any money, not much anyway, before the forums, and so he's done really, really well now with what he's learned. Will, you have something to say?
Yeah, he was as green can be when he came in. He knew nothing, and now he knows so much, and he's doing so well, so it's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's doing, it's just awesome to see guys that didn't have a lot of experience and they're kicking ass now. So what's inside? I'm going to talk real briefly what's inside here. First of all, we have a members-only private CPA network. It's called Max EPC Network. Only members of the forum are allowed to get access to it. So obviously, it's pretty much instant approval. So if you had trouble getting approved for CPA networks, you can get in there. We have the main forum. This is where anything and everything can be talked about in terms of marketing and that sort of stuff. We do monthly Q&A webinars. We actually have one coming up. It should be in the next week or so, I guess. We should do that one pretty quick here. We have monthly Q&A webinars, right? So people can come on, and for 1 hour, they can just ask any questions they want of us, and we'll answer them, no problem. We have the newbie Q&A and essential learning section. All the traffic-specific stuff is in subforums. So we got one for PPC, CPV, SEO, email traffic, right? Email's a big part that I like to talk about. Facebook ads, plenty of fish. More than just CPA, the Learning Center right here, I like to talk about, you know, things like the pseudo merchant, business models, sales funnels, blah, 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 blah. So if you've ever wanted to get past later on, let's say later on you want to go past CPA marketing, you want to make the big, big money as a merchant or an offer owner, well, I talk about a lot of that here. I have a lot of my product information in here and that sort of stuff. Daily diaries, you can watch people have a daily diary, follow-alongs and case studies. Private discussion. This is the private area where if you want to post something or an idea or a campaign, but you don't want everyone to see it, you don't want to out it, you can post that right in here. And of course, we have video tutorials that people have recommended and suggested. We shoot those and we put those in the video tutorial section. And now, not only will you get great coaching in the main forums, but we also offer a few tools that will help you with building and running your campaigns. The first one we give you guys kind of a hookup on and a resource for, Social Ad Manager. This is for managing Facebook ad campaigns, and this is one that we kind of give you the link, and I shot a quick video tutorial on how to use it. It's an awesome, awesome platform that I use very regularly. PPC generator tool. This is a script that I've used for a long time, and we put it in the forum, absolutely free again as a bonus. It helps you build AdWords and MSN Ad Center campaigns extremely quickly, and it helps you split up the amount of words per key ad group and all this sort of stuff. So very powerful. And a mobile squeeze page tool. You remember that mobile squeeze page that I showed you before? Well, if you want to know how to format one that it fits onto a iPhone, that sort of thing, you don't have to worry about it. You just paste your autoresponder code or whatever in there, and there you go. It gives you a mobile formatted page instantly with a push of a button. It takes about 30 seconds. So there's tons of content in the forums, obviously, but at the same time, we've made it very simple to navigate, and we tell you which posts to start out with. You can literally take one section of the forum and build your entire business around it. So there's no need to read all the content before you start making money. So Will and I, what we're going to do is we're going to give you guys a great opportunity right now because we're on this offer vault call. We wanted to give you a special bonus and a ridiculous price. And so similar private forums will run you between $80 to $100 per month. Okay, that's pretty much the industry standard now. Today on this call, though, guys, what you can do is you can get in and you can get full access, full access for only $1. And what that's going to give you, that's going to give you full access for 14 days, complete access to everything, my bonuses, the Profit 101, all that sort of stuff. And if you want to stay on after, it's only $49.99. And so that's well below the industry standard of $80 to $100 for the type of info that we share here. So if you want to take advantage of that, guys, we'd love to have you inside. Just head over to this link right here. It's 6monthsfromtoday.com/offer vault. Okay, and that's going to claim your spot for $1. Okay, so now remember, it's important to remember that jumping into paid traffic, it's a big leap for some people. Jumping into all this stuff is a big leap. So as mentioned, I'm giving you my Profit 101 course as an extra special bonus to 6 months from today to kind of bridge the gap for those of you that haven't made your first dollar online. If you're more advanced, great. We got more advanced stuff like cloaking and that sort of stuff that we talk about in there, and we got resources for. So great. I can go just as advanced as you need. Will can too, so that's not a problem. So what you can do is, all you got to do is 6monthsfromtoday.com/offer vault. Profit 101's got a real world value, about $97. I sold it at that price point for a while. And we're making it as a free bonus again to 6 months from today, as well as all the tools, full 14-day access for only $1 if you sign up from the link below right now. And again, 6monthsfromtoday.com/offer vault. And with that, Will, did you have anything to say before we get to Q&A?
Yeah, no, the $1 trial is a good deal because you do get full access and you get to see everything before you commit to it. And even like you said, the $49.99 a month is something that I've been doing for just about 5 years now on PPC Coach, and it seems like a rate that people find acceptable for the long term. So yeah. One thing I did want to mention on the when you're showing the idea incubator part on the private discussion, that is your one-on-one coaching. You literally get us one-on-one. Nobody else is jumping in and saying anything. So
yeah, absolutely.
To get Chad and I for that price is too cheap, and we've actually talked about increasing the price. We haven't yet, but we're definitely considering it. So
yeah,
it's
we
not
were
a
talking
scarcity
about just yesterday. Yeah. So.
No, it's not scarcity. It's just that we feel we do need to charge a bit more because of everything that we have with the private CPA network and everything else. So a lot of tools are coming too, like my own tracker that'll be ported over. Should have been like 4 weeks ago, but I keep getting sidetracked. So there is a full tracking system on its way too. It's already been written. It just needs to be coded for 6 months from today members. So
yeah, it's a pretty badass tracker too. So if you guys have been struggling with Prosper 202 or whatever else, Will wants to get that over to the forum, and it's a pretty badass tracker. I've seen it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we should definitely open up for some questions.
Yeah, go ahead, guys. Just start typing them in. Absolutely.
There are a couple already in the queue, and what I was thinking is I'd just read them and then we can kind of answer them that way.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
So the first one I found was Peyton. He's saying, when I type "get ripped" into Google and there are no ads coming up, that's supposed to mean it's not a profitable phrase. Since we know it is, what does that really mean?
Okay, so what could be happening there is a while back, this could be happening right now because I haven't advertised in the Get Ripped niche recently. A while back, when a lot of guys were doing the Get Ripped stuff, you weren't able to upload. I wish I had a screenshot of this because you weren't able to upload in AdWords. You couldn't bid on the keyword Get Ripped. So that could be one reason why. The other reason it could be is just there aren't a lot of people bidding on it. And you're not being shown the ads right now, but there aren't a lot of people bidding on it. And that could be because a lot of the offers in the Get Ripped market, they're under a lot of scrutiny with Google, right? So that could be why. Now, I'm willing to bet, though, if you're not seeing it, and if you're in a major country, that it's because right now they're restricting the bid. I could totally be wrong. You could go try to set up a campaign, but at the end of the day, it is a very, very profitable keyword if you get traffic for it.
And the other thing, the other thing to add to that is Google is going so insane with their hatred of affiliates that they're making it so difficult for guys like us to advertise on the search network now that it could just be that they've decided to not allow that anymore on there because they're getting too many bridge pages or something like that. So I think using the method you use to research the niche may not be the best way anymore to do it, because it's just so hard now for affiliates to do it that a lot of affiliates just aren't bothering with Google's search network, which is a whole different ballgame from the content network.
Yeah, content network is, if you guys focus on content, I mean, do what you want, right? Like I do search as well, but display network is where I get a lot of traffic. I mean, there's more traffic on display network than you can imagine. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, another question from Franklin. He's saying, what do you mean when you say large markets?
Okay, so you know, health, wealth, relationships. Kind of tell yourself that everyone wants to be skinny, rich, and popular, right? Or skinny, rich, popular, and loved. Okay, so anything that falls under there could be considered a large market, even if it's a smaller segment like the get ripped market, or what's one off the top of my head? So in the health market, people that want to prevent heart disease. That's another big one, right? Mm-hmm. You know, you might not have as many advertisers as, you know, weight loss to compete with, but still very big, and it's still a very dangerous thing for people to get heart disease. So yeah, there's a lot of primal pain there that you can angle around and work with.
Same with the dating market, right? There's so many niches within there that you could target. Like you could go divorced dads only, right? And you could build a whole angle around that and build a whole pseudo merchant model around just divorced dads. Or the popular one is that richmond.com offer, right? And there's so many different angles you can take with that. And it's not the typical like gold digger looking for a rich guy. It's other angles too that you could take that really work very well. So I would consider that a large market as well.
Yeah, that's a really good one right there. So like the rich guy angle, right? I mean, so what do you do? Like let's think like marketers for a second. The rich guy angle. Does that mean you got to collect pseudo merchant leads for rich guys looking for women? Or does it mean demographically you could just target rich guys, right? So you could create a, you know, this is a little advanced and stuff, but create like a, you know, exclusive kind of social network. If you ever go to affluent.org, I think that's the site. It's like Facebook for rich people, pretty much. I think that's the site. So, you know, who's to say you can't build a list just with rich people on it, and then, man, your options open up on your angles on what you can promote. That's just an idea off the top of my head right now, but give you an idea how you can think laterally.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Another question from Matthew. I typed a response in there just to clarify before we ask that. But from Dave, he's saying the question is 7 search ? So I think I can answer that. I like it for getting started, especially in pay-per-click. I like it a lot because you require such a small budget and you can push low payout offers and still make them profitable. The key with 7 search and making it profitable is making sure you don't drain your budget with one-word key phrases that just wipe it all out. You don't use click-free keywords. Those are the ones that it's not a click, but it's an actual redirect because somebody either typed in a URL or something. It's blind traffic anyway. It's not even a click. So it's, if you get that CF thing in 7 search, just delete that. It's garbage. I've never had them work, and I think one guy in my whole forum has got that traffic to work before. The third thing with 7 search, make sure you track and block the bad sites. That's something that most people never do, and that's why they get like 1,000 clicks. It's all from the same crap site. They never block it, so they continually get crappy traffic, and then they say, oh, traffic stinks, I can't convert it. You know, if they had blocked that one bad site, it could turn the whole campaign around. So it does work, but there are a couple things that you have to do to make it work.
And there's volume there too. I know one guy who spends about $3,000 a day on believe it or not, on 7 search. So Will's done it more than I have. So I've done some 7 search. I've had email submits profitable and that sort of thing. So yeah, it does work. I mean, it's there's real traffic. There's a lot of junk traffic in there. You just got to weed it out the way kind of how Will talked about with the optimizing before.
And then a question from Jeff. What type of budget do you recommend we begin with?
Okay, well, I usually say bare minimums like $250, preferably you got 500. But Will, you had a better way of kind of calculating that. I think. Like, I think you did that post, right?
Yeah, I laid out a whole post on Warrior Forum. If you actually go to ppccoach.com/blog, and there's an answer there for you that is all laid out. It's right. I'm going there myself right now.
Yeah, just because his post was like epic and stuff, so you might as well just read that. But
and like we get asked it all the time, but I'm going to post the link to the thing here as soon as I find it. Just 1 second. Max bounty. There it is. How much do I need to get started? Okay. So I think I can post this in the.
Yeah, you go to the chat thing.
Yeah, here.
And then to all. There you go.
Okay, there's my answer.
Yeah, you didn't send it to
Oh,
everybody.
not to all.
Yeah, can you do it again to all?
Yeah, here.
Okay.
There's my answer. But the basic gist is you can start small as long as you reinvest back into it. So
yeah, for sure.
You know, that's the whole key to it, because a lot of guys think if they don't have $1,000 or $10,000 they can't do it.
No.
But that's not the case at all. As long as you're reinvesting, you're good to go.
Yeah, I had a ton of debt, and you saw there, guys. Like, I had a mortgage, debt, baby. I wasn't in a good position to do it. It's kind of foolish now that I think of it, but whatever.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, right? I mean, it's risk
Absolutely.
versus return, and if you never take the risk, then you're never going to get the return. So
you got it, man.
You know, a lot of guys say too, I'm not going to quit my day job until I have 6 months in reserve, have all my debt paid off, blah 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 blah. And I used to think, yeah, that makes sense. But then when I quit my day job and I didn't have that, now I think, well, are you pushing yourself behind schedule? Like, it's really a personal choice, because if you're an entrepreneur, you're willing to accept the risk, and you know that a job is a job is a job, and it will always be there. Jobs will always exist, so it's not like you quit and you can never go back and get a job again. You know,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, some people can't do a job again, but that's a different story.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have people. I'm unemployable, but you'll have people who like, they'll doubt you and they'll hate on you, like friends or family or whatever, and they'll say, why don't you just stop doing this in your spare time, go get married and have a bunch of kids, or I don't know what, go get a job, get a second job or whatever. But at the same time, those people will be cool going into debt $50,000 to go get a degree. Right?
Yeah.
If I give you $50,000, I'm not going to anybody on this. If I give you $50,000 to go buy traffic with, you might screw up the first $5,000, but after that, I bet you're going to be able to make way more money than that degree would have given you. Absolutely, because like I said, traffic and conversions, like, those are the two skills. If you do that, if you do those well, you recession-proof your life.
Yeah.
I don't, like, the recession. Everybody. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm not trying to say the recession was unaffected. Everyone, the recession was bad for a lot of people. A lot of people lost their jobs. I didn't really get affected by it personally, and it's not because like I'm like magic or something. It's because like I know how to generate my own income, right? I know how to generate it, and there's offers up, and when offers went down, I was like, screw this. I'm gonna start collecting my own leads. I'm gonna start doing my own stuff. I got products. Will's diversified, right? That's how you take control of your life, right?
And that's the thing. Like, the system trains you in how to be a good employee, and there's not really any training on how to be a good entrepreneur. So that's why a lot of us, we're on our own, and there are sites like ours that we've opened now, but they didn't exist when I started, and they didn't exist when a lot of people started. So you're basically there, you put your money down, and that's how you learn. School of hard knocks. So
that's it. Yeah.
But it's risk versus return. If you're going to be an employee, then that's fine, nothing wrong with that. But you're not going to ever have the lifestyle or money that others may get. So it's a trade-off.
For sure, yeah.
Okay, Jeff also followed up with, what's the refund policy?
Take this one.
Yeah, I don't know if you meant on 6 months from today, but the refund policy is, there is no refund policy. We don't offer refunds. Our stuff is top-notch, and a $1 trial for 14 days gives people more than enough time to see. That's 2 weeks. And then even if they go for like $50 after that, that's fine. They're still getting probably about 10 to 20 times more than that. I would say even more in value. But you get what you put into it. If you join the forums and you just read and don't say a word and don't take any action, then it's going to be useless to you, so don't even bother. Like, only join if you're actually willing to take action and to get help and get support and use Chad and I as your coaches and like your mentors. So
yeah, like get in there and do an introduction post, read the intro post, set up a daily diary. That's going to keep you accountable day to day, and then just go for that first 2 weeks hard, and that's the $1 trial. I mean, it's like we kind of made it a no-brainer. And then if it doesn't work out for you, it doesn't work out. If it's something you don't want, but more often than not, I mean, we've got people that have been with us since the very beginning. We've had over 500 people through there, and more of them stick around than drop off. And it's up to you to just go in there, put that daily diary in. That's a really important thing I find. You don't have to if you're more of a shy person, but it really definitely keeps you accountable and gets you taking action every day.
Yeah, and the benefit of the diary too is Chad and I can go in and we can read it. And we can really help you then, because we can nail down what you're doing or what you're not doing. And the more information we have, the better we can help you, and the faster you're going to benefit from it. So it helps quite a bit. So Matthew's following up here. He said, you just signed up. Thank you for that. And he said, what was that book called you mentioned?
The book that I mentioned? Okay, well, there was a book called Cashvertising.
Is that the one?
Well, that's a copywriting one. I don't know if that was the one. It was about creating ads. And then there was the course, my Profit 101 course. That's not a book. That's like an actual video course. It's like 5 hours of video in there.
Yeah.
So it's like worth quite a bit. That's in the newbie Q&A section.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure which.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if he follows up here. Question also from George. He's saying, what's a realistic income figure nowadays with CPA offers?
Wow. Realistic? I mean, realistic is such a I don't really like that word, because like it's
we're not in a realistic business.
Well, yeah. You saw just recently, just from that one pseudo merchant setup, I was doing like 4 figures a day there. Still regularly can set up 4 figures a day campaigns. I know guys that do 5 figures a day. So, it depends. Like it's weird. Like it's more that's why I usually tell people, don't think of like realistic income. Think of more the setup that you want to have. If you don't mind sitting down at your computer for a long time every day, then yeah, you can just arbitrage traffic, and you can make a lot. You can make 5 figures a day, right? Or you can build something that's sustainable. It really more depends on the lifestyle that you want, right? So realistic. I mean, don't think that CPA is old now. Companies are always going to need leads. Companies are always going to need to generate leads. With ClickBank's always going to be around. I don't think tomorrow, like, the Truth About Ads is just going to shut down all these guys. So it's there's always offers to promote. There's always your own offers to promote. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's about traffic and conversion. Whether you're converting your own stuff, somebody else's stuff. So yeah, you can still make a hell of a lot on CPA.
Yeah, the realistic income is whatever your mind puts a limit at. The mindset is so important, and it's where you have to. The limits are what's between your ears. That's it. There's no limit. The sky's the limit. If you think you can do like 10,000 a month, you can do 10,000 a month. If you think you can do 100,000 a month, you can do it. You just have to put in the effort and time and work on your skill set and your traffic and conversions. There's no limit to it. Do we guarantee that? No, because everybody's different. There's no way to guarantee it. And anytime you see something that says guaranteed income, just unless it's we're in Canada, but a GIC, it's not guaranteed income. So forget about it. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, we have a lot of people, they come in and their goal is to make just an extra $1,000 a month or $500 a month, and I'm like, that's not very inspiring. Set big goals, but also set micro goals, so attainable ones. Like, okay, after 1 week, I'll maybe just get this stuff set up, and then after a month I'll hit this or this. So have a big goal, but also don't frustrate yourself by just having the big goal. Have micro goals, and that's why the daily diary is really good. Doing the follow along campaigns are really good, because you can do those micro kind of goals, those micro commitments.
Definitely. Then a question from Kurt: is Dish Network a viable market?
You know what? I ran their pay-per-call offer, the Dish Network one. It converted really well. So yeah, I mean, people love their Dish Network. I know it doesn't fit into the primal ones, health, wealth, relationships, but entertainment is another one that's big, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why Facebook is so huge. Really, Facebook, I don't need to be on Facebook, right? But there's that social aspect, there's that entertainment aspect. Entertainment's a big market. That's why gaming offers are so lucrative as well.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, Joyce has a question. I like this one. It may be a silly question, but is it guaranteed to make $100 plus profit per day after 6 months?
Is it guaranteed?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're doing during the 6 months. I mean, yeah, I know it's kind of a cop-out answer, but I really don't know what you're doing over the 6 months. I mean, what did Alfred, what did he gross 10K within like 2-3 months? He started from scratch. I mean, that's one guy.
Yeah.
There's the other guy in the forum, Midnight Marauder. He doesn't say much. He hasn't done a success story, and I'm bugging him to do it because that guy started with nothing. He built his own product. He was like, screw it, I'm not going to do just affiliate stuff. He built his own product, and that guy is now just like pulling down like big figures, like triple-figure days so far.
Mm-hmm.
And he was making nothing before. And I'm bugging him to do a success story, but he's kind of a quiet guy, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, there's lots of people that. They're putting the work in, and well before 6 months, they're like that Midnight Marauder guy. He's at $350 he had a couple Tuesdays ago, I think it was.
Yeah, I think so.
For him, it's almost pure profit because of the way he set up his system.
Yeah.
It's like almost pure profit because he has that list. It's like a pseudo merchant, but he decided to add his own product on the back, and really didn't take him much time to do that. I mean, he's got his whole follow along there in the forum. It's pretty cool to watch from the beginning to he's like all of a sudden now just in really good leverage position.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and just kind of another question along the same lines that I'm going to jump into, but Thomas is saying, would there be any kind of guarantee I'll make a profit if I join the forum? Kind of tying in what Joyce said, and my answer is clear: no. There is no guarantee. There's 2 guarantees in life. You're going to die, and you have to pay taxes. That's it. Everything else is up in the air. We cannot guarantee you a profit. If somebody is guaranteeing you a profit, I would run from that because there's no way. We can't control what you do. We can control what we do for you and how we work with you and what we provide for you. But it's like the old saying: we can lead a horse to water, and we can't make him drink. And I've had some horses where I've literally walked, like I've stood on the top of their head and jumped up and down, and I'm a big guy. I'm 6'5" and like over 250 pounds. I've jumped on the top of their head, and I can't make them do what they're supposed to do. So there is no way. And the guarantee of making profits online, it's a farce, and it's playing on your emotional triggers to get you to buy the product. That's all it is. There's no way. So I just
illegal.
Yeah, illegal too.
I mean, that's something that isn't stressed often enough. Gentlemen, I don't mean to jump in, but to get people in the right frame of mind, there's a lot of stuff out there that says you're guaranteed to do this, you're guaranteed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
As you pointed out, unless it's a GIC or a bond issued by the government at 0.005% over 25 years.
Yeah.
In a business circumstance, you cannot guarantee. That's misleading people. And people looking for those kind of guarantees, I think, are being unrealistic. I don't mean to be critical of people. I know it's nice to say, well, I'm going to make good money. You have to work. This is a business. You just don't sign up and the guy says, here you are, go make money. Otherwise, nobody would do anything. They'd just sign up for a program and it would print money.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I got to say, folks, these 2 gentlemen have been around for a while, and Chaz has the distinguished background of being a successful fighter, and I also know for a fact that his wife is, dare I say it, as or more successful, so he's got to be really fortunate. If he lies to you and goes home and says finds out about it, he gets his head racked. These 2 guys are very straight about what they're telling you, and I suggest strongly anybody who's interested, as they point out, they got an offer that's pretty hard to refuse. If we quote the old movie, check it out, 6monthsfromtoday.com/offer vault. Try it on for size. They spent a lot of time taking you through a pretty simply explained plan of attack as to how to structure a business and how to approach this. And that's very refreshing as opposed to throwing out some promise up front that you're going to walk away unscathed with $1 million after 10 minutes. That's never going to happen. I thank you gentlemen very much for putting something out. A lot of very useful information to the crowd here tonight, guys.
No problem.
Awesome. Thank you.
That was a pleasure. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. There's a couple more here. Do you want to go through a couple more, or should we wrap it up?
Oh,
what do you
please,
think?
by all means. No, if they've got questions, I don't mind. If you guys have got time and they've got questions, by all means, take them.
Yeah. Okay. I think we can go through a couple more. Chad?
You take a couple more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Just
Okay.
a couple more, yeah.
So, question from Tang. He says, I'm from Indonesia. It's very difficult to get approved for CPA affiliates. Actually, it's not a question, more of a statement, but I'm guessing he's asking, like, how can he get approved? On our site, we have our own private network, so our members are pretty much auto-approved. Unless there's something, unless we have you on a blacklist or something from previous dealings where we know that we don't want to deal with you, but that hasn't happened yet. And I do have a blacklist, a little one that I keep. But yeah, I mean, we're willing to not only show you how to do it, but provide the offers for you to do it right in the site too. And we're unique that way. No other forum does that yet. Yeah. I'm sure it'll be copied soon, but that's the nature of competition.
Let me very quick story on getting approved under odd circumstances. When I started out CPA, I was living in Thailand. Okay, I had a Thai phone number. I was in Malaysia at the time visiting my dad who was in the hospital, so I had a Malaysian IP address, but I applied to these networks with a Canadian postal address. Okay?
Oh man, yeah.
So
red flags all over.
Yeah, you can understand. I got disapproved by 8 out of 10 that I applied for, and all I did was pick up the phone, call them up, and then I got approved by 6 of the 8 that declined me. So it's easy to get approved if you know how to play the game right, and we tell you about how to do that. But again, also in our forum, I mean, we're providing that for you with the Max EPC network. So.
Yeah, and then a question from Dave: is CPM on the display network a good place to start? And what about 7Search?
Okay, well, we addressed 7Search on the display network. I like running cost per click personally. It's just what I've always done for the most part, 99% of the time, and that's just where I start. So I tend not to do CPM on the display network. Same with Facebook. I feel like it seems like I get higher quality traffic. I know it sounds odd, but I seem to get higher quality traffic and instantly higher click-through rates domestically on Facebook for cost per click.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never really done CPM on the display either on Google at all. I've always done cost per click.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other mode I'll go on is CPA. If once I have an offer that's running good and I just pay for conversions, then we do. We actually Will wrote in the forums a really good post on that, on how to get like guaranteed conversions once you've optimized a campaign. It's pretty slick. Yeah,
you can actually, you get to a point where once you have enough data, you can kind of like flick a switch in your account on Google, on AdWords for the content network, and they will actually optimize the campaign to your target CPA. It's so powerful. It's awesome. But I walked through how to do it. It's really cool.
Yeah, for pseudo merchant, it's awesome because your conversion becomes your opt-in. So.
Okay, question from Ed. I just written off Google as an ad platform for affiliate/CPA offers. I have a couple $100 still sitting in an account. Can I run on the display network?
Yeah, you can. I mean, it depends like what kind of offers you're running, what kind of model you're running, that sort of thing. I mean, you know, if you're doing the pseudo merchant thing in a niche that they're okay with, then you should be fine. Otherwise, you can go direct to some offers. The offers that I find that are running are things like dating offers. Most dating offers seem okay, right? Even to go direct to. A lot of the ClickBank offers, as long as there's not like unrealistic claims and that sort of stuff, that's always the tricky term that gets you. Daily deal offers, a lot of the major branded ones work fine. Some coupon offers. So yeah, you can definitely run if you got some money in there. I would stick with something, ideally, if it's something that you see other affiliates running, you know, for a good amount of time.
Yeah, I agree. Question from Simon. It is said that people go to Facebook to socialize and not to buy things. Did you really manage to sell on Facebook or just capturing leads only?
I was just recently, actually, and we're going to restart that campaign because we got more inventory. It is an anti-aging product, and we're running at 265% ROI. And
Nice.
going directly to the video sales letter.
Wow.
Direct to a video sales letter. So no landing page, no lead capture, nothing like that.
Wow.
So yeah, you can definitely sell on Facebook. And no problems there. You just got to know how to target more affluent people if it's an affluent market, or it's just about targeting, right? It's just about, just sales, right? There's still people on there. You sell on Plenty of Fish. Believe it or not, Plenty of Fish, you sell a lot on. Everyone, what do they think when they advertise on Plenty of Fish? They think dating. Well, get out of the box. Anti-aging, skincare, weight loss, all those big markets, right? They're all like primal pain, and they'll work anywhere there's people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, a couple of questions there we already covered, and then Barack is asking, why does direct CPV not allow you to bid on high volume URLs anymore, like top Alexa 1000 sites?
Well, I haven't used direct CPV in a long time. I just kind of
neither.
avoid their traffic, so not sure what they're doing there. I tend to stick with lead impact and traffic vans for CPV traffic.
I haven't used them in a while either, but I would wager that they're probably just monetizing all those things internally.
Yeah,
so
that
they
happens
don't.
a lot on CPV
Yeah,
networks.
they don't want you bidding on it because they'll just pull it. They'll pull it right from you.
Yeah, lead impact does that sometimes too, guys.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah.
Question from Marcus. I'm having real problems with Prosper 202. Can the forum help, or should I wait for your new tracking system?
Well, Will's new tracking system is pretty slick. We do have because there was a lot of questions about Prosper, we shot on one of our Q&As, our last Q&A that we did, the webinar Q&A, the first 45 minutes is on how I use Prosper 202. So there's a video in the video tutorial section about that, and then obviously, we can answer questions afterwards, and Will can talk about his tracker if he wants.
Yeah, no, it was funny because when Prosper 202 came out, I was just about ready to launch mine publicly, and they beat me to it by a week. Like, this was about 4.5 years ago. So a lot of the features that I had, they were giving away now for free, which kind of pissed me off. But I've added in a lot of stuff that they don't have now, so it's just I custom wrote the whole thing myself, so I like it a lot, and of course I'm biased, but it's a good system. Some of it's a little bit clunky, but it's popular and a lot of guys use it. So yeah, we can help you with it. I've never personally used it, but I understand what it's doing enough to, offer my input, I guess. And having written my own, I know what the basic job of it is supposed to be. So providing support is not a problem.
I use Prosper all the time, so.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I can speak, like, all the time. I use Prosper every day, so I can speak on that, no problem.
Okay, question from Lauren. Can you help me get my AdWords account revived? I can. I know how to do it. It's funny, but I had the PPC Coach site got banned on AdWords because it was labeled as a get-rich-quick site. And I actually got that account back, and I got the site back. And it's just a matter of putting on disclaimers and a bunch of stuff. And I happened to get on the chat with a really helpful guy for once. Like, it's one out of the 10,000th guy that I talked to at Google, but he was super helpful, and he literally said, no, do this. And I would do it, make the change as he was talking to me, and say, okay, review it now. And then he'd say, oh, you did that now? Wow, that's fast. And then we did that for about 45 minutes, and finally, he's like, yeah, this is good. You can run this. And that was after they banned me. And they banned me, and I'm supposed to be showing people how to use AdWords.
That's
like,
awesome.
How do you do that? So I've got accounts back. It's typically a landing page issue or what you're promoting. That's the basic stuff that they'll ban you for.
Yep.
Dawn is asking, does 6 months from today still have the disappearing membership fee? No.
Do you want? No.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
We tried it. We had a payment processor that promised us that it would work fine. A lot of guys hit month 6 already, and all of a sudden we're getting these emails that these payments are not going through, and I'm still trying to work with them to get this solved. So we decided that a lot of members were getting upset with it. We just decided to dump it for now because it's just not. It's too much headache for the members, and it's too much headache for us, honestly. So it's a good idea, but until the technology catches up to the idea, we're going to kind of put it on the shelf.
Yeah, and I mean the good news is like the site is still like it's probably the best value you've seen anyway at the $49.99. So I mean we made sure to price it where it was a better value than what you're seeing out there with other forms. And then if the vanishing thing ever comes back, we'll see if we can implement it. But
yeah,
it's just a technical thing that we're not able to do.
Yeah, and if we do like put it back in, we will make sure that people are, they get the value. So if you sign up and it's not there, and then all of a sudden we bring it back, we're not going to screw you over and say, oh no, forget it, you're under that non-vanishing system. So it's something we've talked about, and we're just kind of waiting for technology to catch up, and promises to follow through that never did. So
absolutely, yeah.
Another question. Oh, the screen just moved. Okay, Kurt, I have a site that is specific for a nutritional supplement. It's a landing type site to go to the product company page where I get a commission. Can this site be turned into a pseudo merchant site easily?
Yeah, I mean, without seeing it, I don't see why not, right? It's a pseudo merchant is essentially like a lead capture, right? And then you position the offers the right way on the thank you page. Right, so you'll get to capture the lead. It's just like capturing a lead and promoting a ClickBank offer, except if this is the only offer you're promoting, then pretty much it's like a one-time offer on that thank you page. So yes, you can capture the lead beforehand. What I would recommend you do, capture the lead beforehand, send the people to a page that promotes the offer, okay? But if people do not opt in on the front there, if they don't opt in, hit them with an exit pop-up that goes right to the offer. If you're comfortable doing that, that's going to give you a little more, maybe it might collect a few conversions before, before people X out, right?
Yeah. Okay, I think we should take maybe 2 or 3 more here and then kind of wrap it up, because I think
let's look to wrap it up.
Yeah. Okay, so...
It's late. It's 9 over. It's probably 11 for you, isn't it?
It's almost 11 here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's still early for you. Okay, so the question, how long is the offer going to be up for on the $1 trial? I'd like to say buy now because there's 23 seconds left, but I can't. It's something that's probably going to be up for a while. I'm not a big hype guy or scarcity guy. I should be as a marketer, but I'm not. I don't know.
I'd say at least a week.
Oh yeah,
I'd say at least a week. Yeah.
Yeah, minimum. Okay, Don's asking, is the forum clear cut on the steps, like a blueprint to follow?
Okay, so what you got to understand is it's not a course, right? But at the same time, there's a few posts that we have that we say, okay, start at these posts, that sort of thing. And then when you go to the newbie Q&A, if it's CPA marketing that you're interested in, then I would highly recommend starting with my Profit 101 program, which is free in there, and that course is very step-by-step.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you're like, okay, I want to get into CPA marketing, that sort of thing. Read the intro post that we recommend. You'll see once you join, and then once you get in there, go to the newbie Q&A section, right, and then get the Profit 101 for free, and then that is a very linear, step-by-step course of what to do, and then obviously you can ask any questions in the members area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The reason I say otherwise it's not, but before Will comments on that, the reason I say is because some people ask us about stuff that isn't linear. Like that one guy, he decided to create his own product, right? So, we have to keep it flexible because it's a forum as well. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you have campaigns that you've struggled with and you're wondering, like, why isn't this working, the forum is meant for that primarily. So it's a coaching and mentoring site, so we can actually go in and look at what you're doing and how you're doing it and what's going on, and we can usually spot the issue right away. But yeah, there are some step-by-step things available, but the only problem with step-by-step, once somebody sees a step-by-step blueprint, they tend to copy it word for word. And I've actually run into this issue now on 7Search, where I did a big webinar with Max Bounty and 7Search, and I showed people how to do email submits on there. So many people copied my campaign word for word that 7Search was complaining to me that whenever somebody typed in free iPad into 7Search, every single ad that showed on like 2 pages of results were for free iPad offers, like email submits. Everybody was bidding on the same keywords. They all had the same ad copy as me, and it's just brutal. Like I even said, do not copy this. And more than at least 50 people went to 7Search and did it. So
yeah, no creativity.
Yeah, you got to be creative. Like, take the method or whatever you see, and if it's an offer for XYZ product, do ABC product instead. Just so you're not competing with all those other guys that just blatantly copied it, because you're not going to get anywhere by it.
Yeah, that's how you get the big breakers for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so how about we go to, let's call this the last one.
We got the last one.
Yeah, Scott, I got you. We got a link broken on one of them. I'll get that fixed. But so Bruce, he said, do you provide the templates of squeeze pages and front-end thank you pages?
For a pseudo merchant, well, no, because I'm not sure what niche and everything that you're going to do, right? So I provide some tutorials on how to make them fast. In the main forum, there's a section on how to get landing pages created very quickly. How to certain tools where it's all drag and drop and that sort of stuff. So that'll help if you're not technically inclined. And also, I mean, to get those types of landing pages created for a pseudo merchant model costs maybe $15-20 if you get the right developer on Odesk or something. In terms of template, I mean, there are template packs you can buy out there. A good site is themeforest.net. That's a really good one. You can get like cheap landers, like $8, $5, and that sort of stuff. So, but again, if we provided the templates, then everyone's going to use the same template. It's all going to get saturated in that one market. Everyone's going to go after the same stuff and that sort of thing. So, we'll have people to put spins on it themselves.
Yeah, I agree. But if you're having any, that brings me to another point. If you have a technical issue that you're encountering, Chad and I are both very technical guys, so we can help you with that. It doesn't matter what system or software it is. We can. I've yet to run into something technical somebody asked me that I couldn't answer. As far as no, I mean we're really solid with that. So if it's design or if you're asking, where can I get these landing pages? Yeah, we can offer suggestions for that too, because we have people that we deal with and we know where to go to get them. So that's no problem. No. And I guess with that, a couple guys have joined already. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. We look forward to working with you guys too. I guess with that, we'll probably close it up.
Sure.
Chad, do you have anything to say to close it?
Not too much. Just look forward to seeing you guys inside the forums. Whatever you do, look at that pseudo merchant model. Look at what we talked about tonight. Look to implement it right now in what you're doing. Even if you take one little bit, I'll be happy. And yeah, we'd love to have you inside the forum. And like I said, our goal is to get you profitable as fast as possible. That's the whole goal. It's right out there on the open. So
definitely.
Rick, did you want to wrap it up? Hello, Rick.
Well, I just wanted to say once again, thank you so much on behalf of everybody at OfferVault, because it's not only extremely informative. I understood it, and as people know, at my age, understanding the instructions on the bottom of a bottle of Coke is an experience. So it made sense, and these guys are trying to indicate to you that it's not a template, it's not a cut and paste situation, because as already pointed out, more often than not, that not only fails, it undermines what you're trying to do, especially if you buy something that's not doing that well somewhere else anyway. So here you're being given the opportunity to learn your business as you grow it, so you can interact with these people, and they will take your information, answer your questions, and help you along the way. So you get to go in a direction that suits your purposes. I strongly suggest you check it out. Chad, Will, as always, very, very, very glad you were here. I really enjoyed it, guys. The webinar will be up for a replay hopefully by tomorrow night, and we hope we'll see you guys on the next time around. You take care.
Great.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Rick. Thanks, Chad.